Hello and welcome to BRB Time, where we will be taking a look at training combat in Runescape 3. Before we begin though, I'll recommend a few quests to kickstart you through the early levels of the game. First and foremost, I recommend completing Waterfall quests to boost your levels. You will gain 13,750 experience points in attack and strength, shooting you directly to level 30 in both skills. In addition, this quest has absolutely no requirements, making it ideal for doing immediately as you begin the game. These increased stats will make leveling much easier later on, in addition to making the following quests much easier as well. The next quest I recommend for new players is to complete Merlin's Crystal. While it doesn't grant any experience, it has no requirements, and it allows access to a special weapon called the Excalibur. This is a level 30 weapon that is perfect after just completing Waterfall quest. Once you've completed Waterfall quest and Merlin's Crystal, you should be in a pretty good position to take on the Holy Grail. This quest will give you a ton of defense experience and parry experience, which will make it much easier to level later on. Now begins the actual training portion of this combat guide. The first place I'm going to recommend to you to train is going to be on Trolls, and they are located to the north of the Birthorpe Bank. That should be the first location that you began once you got off of Ashdale, so it should be pretty easy to find it. In this cave there are lots of trolls in all different directions, so you should have no problem killing them and getting their XP. There are a lot of them, so make sure that you don't use too many AoE abilities, otherwise you run the risk of being overwhelmed. But once you get comfortable, feel free to train on them as you see fit. The trolls in this cave grant 25 experience per kill, which doesn't seem like a whole lot at first, but if you're using the Excalibur that was gained from Merlin's Crystal, you should have no problem one-hit killing them. In addition, they don't hit very high, and you can pick what they're weak to and what type of damage they deal. Also, upon kill, a lot of times they drop food, making your trips even longer. To put the cherry on top, you can walk directly out of the cave and go to the bank that is just south of it and restock if you ever need to. From levels 40 to 60, there are a few monsters that I would recommend. First, let's start with Ogres. Ogres can be found to the east of Castle Wars, which can be reached by using a Ring of Dueling, or to the west of Yanil, which can be reached by using the Lodestone teleports. Ogres are unique in the fact that you can safe spot them while you fight them, as long as you're using either range damage, magic damage, or a halberd. In order to safe spot them, make sure that you stand behind the low wall or behind the bushes. From there you can shoot arrows or cast magic at them as you see fit. Also, if you decide that you want to melee, you're able to bring a halberd in order to do damage to them over these gaps. Just make sure that you're wearing gear that is the correct level for you. So at 40 use Adamant, and at 50 use Rune. The second method of training I would recommend is Gnomes and Gnome Troopers. These can be found southwest of East Ardoin or directly south of West Ardoin. They are in large groups, making it very easy to AoE them all together and get lots of experience. If you're wearing gear that is correct for your level, they won't deal a ton of damage, and it makes for a very fast way to level up if you want to play actively and involved. Now that you are level 60, you have the option of fighting abyssal creatures to level. Abyssal creatures can be found in the Abyss, which is north of Edgeville in the wilderness. So be careful when traveling there. Make sure that no lures can get you. In order to access the Abyss, you're going to need to complete a mini quest called the Abyss. This will take you into the area and get you used to the locations that are there and the monsters that are there to fight. The monsters that are there are completely aggro. As soon as you step in there, they will immediately attack you. This makes it incredibly easy to get experience while not actually watching your character. You won't have to do very much clicking, and you'll get a lot of free experience. If they ever stop aggroing you, all you have to do is run to the north and then come back and they will attack you again. Just make sure that if you go, You bring lots of prayer potions and lots of food for emergency situations, and also bring a teleport, so that if in case anything bad happens, you can very easily teleport out. For players with 85 or higher dungeoneering, I recommend training from 70 to 80 on Frost Dragons. Frost Dragons grant a ton of XP per kill and a ton of money through their Frost Bones. They can be found by teleporting to Port Sarim and then walking south to Thurgo's Peninsula. Once you're at his peninsula, you can climb down the trapdoor and into an underground cavern. Follow along this cavern and you will reach a door, a dungeoneering door, that you can teleport into to find the Frost Dragons. As I mentioned before, Frost Dragons have a ton of experience per kill, as well as dropping quite a bit of money on each kill through their bones. However, they also have a mechanic that can be very frustrating if you're not paying very close attention. If you don't kill them fast enough, a bright blue orb will float around them, which will reflect any damage you deal to them. So make sure that when you're fighting them, you're paying attention at all times. It's very active training, however, it is good experience and good money. This will make it easier to afford gear for the next step of your training. If you don't have Frost Dragons unlocked, or you simply don't want to train on Frost Dragons because they're too much work to kill, I would recommend that you stay at Abyssal Creatures all the way up until level 80. You won't gain very much money, however the experience will be very fast and you can skip over this part of the training very quickly. From levels 80 to 99, I would recommend training at the Mauritania Slayer Tower. At the top of the tower, there are creatures known as Abyssal Demons. These are not to be confused with the Abyssal creatures found in the Abyss. These are a completely separate creature with higher levels that are more dangerous but give more experience. These are well known as a very popular way to train. This is because, much like the Abyssal creatures, they group up and are easy to AoE. However, they have more HP and they have better drops, which means that while these can be AoE'd and fought completely AFK, you will also make a sum of money fighting them. They have drops such as the Abyssal Whip or the Abyssal Wand and Orb when you're on a Slayer task. In addition, they drop rune items and gems that can be used for alchemy, to make gold, or turned into bolt tips to be sold for money. This can be done all the way to 99 if you want. However, if you go to 90, there are additional ways to train from 90 to 99 that I will be discussing after this point. Much like training in the Abyss, when training on Abyssal Demons, one should bring lots of potions, some additional food for emergencies, and a teleport option to escape just in case. It should be also noted that Abyssal Demons are almost always crowded with players who are also trained for 99s or 120s in their combat stats. So it may be hard to find an available location to train in. If that's the case, just be patient. Don't try to crash other players, be friendly, and sometimes they'll leave and you can take their spot when they're gone. From 90 to 99, if you're not actually interested in farming Abyssal Demons all the way there, you can actually begin doing some of the lower level bosses. In this clip I show me fighting Araxor, however I wouldn't recommend Araxor at level 90. There are bosses such as God Wars Dungeon 1 and 2 that are more tailored for people who are level 90 or 95. Also, that'll get you used to the concepts that bossing entails. It'll get you used to dodging AoEs and dealing high DPS in a short amount of time. So I definitely recommend checking that out if you're interested in having a more interactive way to go from 90 to 99 while making a large amount of money. So with that, I would say that this concludes my guide from 1 to 99 in any given combat skill. I hope that this guide has been incredibly helpful for players out there who are trying to level up and don't know where to begin. And if you like the video, make sure that you leave a like, and dislike if you dislike it. Make sure that you leave a comment below though, telling me if there's anything that I can improve on or something that I portrayed incorrectly. If you love the content, make sure you leave a subscribe and wait for more content to come out. Check out my channel to see if there's anything else on there that you would like to watch. And with that, I guess I will say goodbye and take care, and I will see you next time.